Junkin' Pool over here in Poorville. So I flipped them ingots out a while ago. This is still warm. I got a couple there. Got 6 of these. And I took the wear wheel and cleaned them up a little bit. I can't see how good you can see it because the sun's shining over my shoulder. And I run the battery dead. So I got the scales here. They're not real accurate. And I cleaned the back down. Got a couple of indents there, which match my cast iron mold or whatever we're going to call it. It's heavy, about 70 pounds. I have a feeling it's more than that because these scales always tend to weigh extra. If I weigh myself on these and go to the doctor always tells me I'm 10 pounds heavier. Putting these ones on here now. I just did another little video, didn't go through. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. Here's the last one. Yes, we got like 80, 81 pounds. And I kind of cleaned this side up with a wire wheel real quick and this side up. And the edges and stuff. Just playing around with it. Don't really have to do that to scrap them, but I'm not really planning on scrapping them right away. Might keep some of this. Smaller ones for the bullets. Them are already treated as far as their wheel weights, so I used a sewer pipe, which I guess is not treated. It's considered pure lead, but the wheel weights have, I guess, 3 different metals in them. So yeah, it's kind of a lot of the weight on the board now, but so I gotta melt this down again. When I get my next time I do it, I'll do it. Ain't no sense in just melting it down for a few of them. So 80 pounds. I'm not sure. Like I said, it was 45 cents a pound to 1 yard. They're usually quite higher than the rest of them. But yeah, it's fun. I used to have a smelter, and I had that tractor. I had it sitting over here, run off a 500 pound propane tank, like over there. 500 gallon, yeah. But I'd melt down motor, cast, aluminum, any parts off of cars and transmissions. You pretty much would put them in there, and it had a door. You could rake out the metal on the hood or something, and that was like 2-foot iron for the most part. Sometimes you get a little tin, but it was a fire cone 2000 factory built. It was hydraulic. You could get her loaded up and sit out here with a chair, and you had I think it was 8 ingot trays that you had to turn with your foot. When you get one filled, you just hit the hydraulics and it would set back. It's a really nice machine. I bought it off eBay from Dansville, Illinois for like $2,500. And I melted down a ton of aluminum. It was either a ton or 2 ton the first year. I was tearing the lawnmowers apart, getting the motor blocks. I was pretty ambitious. I had a lot of them around. You get a lot of stuff around, and then you'd fire that thing up, and you'd melt for 4 or 5 hours, and you'd have some weight when you were done. Aluminum and siding and all that stuff, extrusion, you really didn't want to melt that down with it. You'd sell that separate. Sometimes I'd melt down the barbecue grills, but I was getting up to 90 cents a pound when you was taking to the yard. Regularly, you'd only get like 45. So it paid. You just had to set on the aluminum for a long time, so it was worth it. Like car rims, I know people melt them right down and put them in there, but I was getting the same price without melting them down, aluminum car rims. So anyway, that was one of the things I did. I had it for a few years, and the prices were still fairly good, but I couldn't get enough aluminum, so everybody got into the scrapping, and they were just hauling this stuff in as tin price. And So that's where most of my scrap was coming from. Once the price started getting up crazy, people were getting it, and I was not getting so much. But I ended up reselling it, got my money back. And guy come from Canada and bought it. But when I bought it, I had it for, like I said, 4 or 5 years. First year I melted a ton or two. Second year maybe whatever, about half. And the third year about half. And I just wasn't getting enough aluminum. So it become a yard ornament, and I sold it and got my money back. And then I seen one on the computer probably 2 months later. I just got a computer, and I really still don't know how to work them, but I was bidding one on an auction not too awful far from here, and I was gonna bid pretty good for it because I just sold the other one. So my computer freezes up. I can't get back into the auction, and I'm wanting that thing. Ended up, couldn't bid no more. I only bid like 120 bucks. I finally got the computer fixed, got back on the auction, and that thing went for, it was less than $300, and I just sold one for $2,500. So I was disgusted about that, and I would have probably kept this one because it was so cheap. It didn't have any money invested in it. So usually if I buy something that's with some money I used that I sold something else. I can't remember what I sold to get that, but it paid for itself. But I could build one. I know how to build one. I really don't need anything as big as that thing was. It wasn't huge as far as taking up space, but it really was a nice one. I've been to all these yards around here, and I never seen anybody that had actually a hydraulic one, factory built like that. Most of them that got them are home built, which they work fine. But anyway, this is a Junkin' Fool over here in Poorville, telling a story. And smelters are pretty cool. That was for aluminum. In fact, the one yard was talking about buying it to melt down lead, but they didn't want to pay me what I got out of it, which is okay. I don't know if they ever did get one to melt down lead or not, but it was overkill for lead. Lead melts so easy. Well, story time in Poorville. Thanks for stopping by. I hope everybody's having a good day. So we got like 80 pounds of lead. We're going to set on it for right now. I still think it's around 45 cents a pound. We take a load in, it might go, but have a great day. Thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Go find some lead. Or not. Goodbye now.